that song.
You're tuned to Evergreen Media Network. I am Cindy Schwartz, and this is our Veterans Voice radio show, and your host, Ralph Nathan Oko.
So are you ready to smile? Today's show is Himicanes and Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what the daylights is Ralph talking about today? Okay, well, I am here to dispel a theory. So I've got Paddy on the phone. We've planned this because this is in I'd like to say the United States, but really it's the southern and eastern part of the United States that for 6 months we've got a hurricane season. So on the way out today, I'm thinking, why do they call it hurricanes? I don't know. So I got a couple of minutes. I go to my computer, turn on to Google, go to Wikipedia, and where did the word hurricane emanate from? But let me backtrack. How many times have we had a situation where somebody yells, "Hey, we got those little buggers on the floor. Who's going to get those ants? We got to call the exterminator." Mm-hmm. Well, how do you know they're ants and not uncles?
Right. Well,
how do you know hurricanes are not named after women? So today we have Himicanes and Hurricanes. Not literally and figuratively. So your significant other, wife or girlfriend or whatever, gets you mad. So what do? You throw a himicane. You throw things, you toss things, you kick things, you break things. Now, what happens with we men? We, of course, are, we're angels. We never do anything to dispel the logic and the happiness of our female counterpart. But if we do, watch out because you're facing a hurricane. So on that note, we have Paddy with us, Patrick McAllister, my dear co-host, and Cindy and I are looking forward to kind of talking to you about himicanes and hurricanes. So why are they called himicanes? No. Why are they called hurricanes? It has nothing to do with gender.
no.
It has to do with the powerful storms that form around the world, but in a particular part of the world, which is very interesting. You know how you see the world as a map and around, but you flatten it out, and from the left to the right, you've got literally the whole world. If you were to tape it around, you would have, other than a sphere, you'd have the world. Well, a hurricane is from the North Atlantic, Eastern, Central, North Pacific Oceans. Cyclones are the Western, South Pacific, and Indian Ocean. Typhoons are Western, North Pacific. Okay. So where did the word hurricane find its roots? In the Caribbean, which is south and southeast of Florida in the United States. That's where the indigenous Taino people of the Greater Antilles worshipped a storm deity named Huracan, Juracan.
Oh, okay.
And this god's name may have come from some Mayan god of wind, Huracan. The Spanish later adapted it and called it hurricane or furacán to describe the intense, the forms and the broad. So the word spread, and we in the English language renamed it Americanized or English-wise, hurricanes. So it has nothing to do, and I'm dispelling the theory, hurricanes are not named after the female gender. It is named after literally the gods in the Caribbean. I didn't know that.
Well, the J is pronounced H in the Spanish language, correct? Yeah,
well,
so that makes sense.
And I said it American-wise only so people would understand but the Mayan pronounced it Huracan, hurricane.
Okay.
So, yes, you're absolutely correct. So, Paddy, I hopefully I've started everybody off with a smile. And if we have time towards the end, I'd like to, all three of us, Cindy, Paddy, and I, to just share with you just the highlights, what to quickly kind of prepare for the hurricane season. So, Paddy, thanks for taking the time to be with us. And
absolutely.
So, are you going to talk about hurricanes or himicanes?
Well, in today's exciting and educational episode of Our Veteran's Voice, we're introducing you to Joahna's Law. Now, what is Joahna's Law, you ask? Well, that's why you're going to stay tuned to find out about this life-saving thought experiment you should do at least annually. Turn that dial at your own peril. And folks, do get pen and paper ready, because today's show is really about saving lives, and you will want to take notes. So, welcome to the annual 7 weeks of Florida hell.
Amen.
July braised you to a perfect juicy pot roast to serve with carrots and potatoes. August ain't really any better for the heat and humidity. So by the time you're overcooked and things start to cool a smidge, it's the height of hurricane season.
Yeah.
That's right, boys and girls. 60% of hurricanes happen between August 20 and October 10. And that is why you live in Florida, not La Florida. You see, Florida came that close to being a French, not Spanish, colonial territory for 200 years. But a hurricane said no.
No.
By the way, this indirectly helped create the word buccaneer. We'll get back to that.
I love that.
In the 1560s, fights between Catholics and Protestants in France turned into 3 decades of repeated full-on civil war, the French Wars of Religion. In 1562, some French Protestants, already sick of the fighting, pointed boats southwest and sailed for La Florida.
Oh.
They were looking for land to set up a colony of religious tolerance where all could freely practice the prescribed Protestantism of their no choice. The inspiring story that Massachusetts sells so hard about persecuted Calvinists fleeing Europe to start a land of religious freedom, yeah, that started in Florida, you pompous Bay Staters. So, the French Protestants found the perfect spot to do some land speculating at the mouth of the May River, today's St. John's River.
Oh, okay.
That place is called Jacksonville now, but the French dubbed it La Caroline. But wait, you say, my papa told me Juan Ponce de Leon claimed the Florida Peninsula for Spain in 1513. Why, yes, Mikey, he did tell you that. But a claim's only as strong as the soldiers there enforcing it. And there weren't no Spanish soldiers there, although there were Timucua who softly aligned with the Spanish. Now, the Spanish had tried to set up colonies in Florida since 1521. None stuck. You know, there were problems with the Calusa Indians Homeowners Association in Charlotte Harbor, and, a hurricane that crashed the first Spanish attempt at setting up Pensacola in 1559.
Oh, wow, yeah.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Now, you'd think that 600 beret-wearing Protestant French would barely be a noticeable annoyance to King Philip II. Well, it might have been if it weren't for the Spanish treasure fleet period just hitting its hottest beat. The Florida Peninsula was the perfect spot for French privateers and pirates to set up bases, and the Spanish couldn't have people stealing the silver and gold that they had pinched from the Americans.
Right.
So, King Phil put General Pedro Menendez de Avilés and 800 good Catholics on boats and kicked them across the Atlantic to solidify Spain's hold on Florida. The Spanish Settlement Company, LLC, came ashore to set up St. Augustine on September 8th. 1565.
Oh.
And I think we're coming up on a break, and on the other side of it, I will tell people where that word buccaneer came from.
Yeah. You got a minute.
You got like a minute or so.
I
Pat.
got a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
59,
Buccaneer
58,
was
57.
a word the English coined for the French pirates in the Caribbean. It was a variant for the Tupi Arawak word boucan, which was a frame for smoking and roasting meats. There were no French colonies in the Caribbean, which included Florida at the time, Central or South America in the 1500s. So the French mostly set up some temporary outposts, did some hunting, trading, privateering, and piracy, and to preserve the meats, they adopted the Tupi Arawak's boucan, and so they were called the boucanais. When those French jumped on ships for a spot of piracy, that name followed them and was anglicized to buccaneer.
Oh.
Interesting.
Ah.
Daniel Webster, you're learning a lesson here. We're going to take a short break. Patty, Cindy, and I are talking to you today about himicanes and hurricanes. We'll be right back, our Veterans Voice Radio. And by the way, do have paper and pen, so because we want to give you a few hints and highlights as to what you really, really, most important, need to be prepared for the hurricane season we're in right now. We'll be right back.
I'm Dr. Tim Ioannidis at Treasure Coast Dermatology. At Treasure Coast Dermatology, we believe in the prevention and early detection of skin cancer. We are medical doctors, and we focus on the medical aspects of dermatology. You don't need a sales pitch for Botox, collagen, or wrinkle creams. You need a doctor that cares about you and the health of your skin. We feel by not trying to do too much, we can do more for our patients.
Call toll-free 877-870-DERM. That's 877-870-3376.
Meet Henry Bach, patient of Florida Eye Institute.
After having the cataracts removed, it was a whole new world for me. The colors were brilliant. It was painless. You could almost say it's like being born all over again. When I come in here, it's like coming home. Everyone's so friendly and nice. It's just a wonderful experience.
Are you ready to experience truly exceptional patient care? Florida Eye Institute.
Hey, did you hear the latest about our Florida Highwomen?
No, what?
There's a Highwomen Art Gallery in Vero Beach.
Really? Where?
1872 Commerce Avenue.
Wow, when's it open?
7 days a week. Call 954-557-6226 for an appointment anytime.
No kidding?
Just call for your appointment, 954-557-6226, and then go to 1872 Commerce Avenue.
Wow, that's good news.
And we're back on our Veterans Voice Radio Show and Ralph Nathan Oko.
Hey, everybody, Cindy just asked me a question during the break about cataracts, if I had cataracts. Yes, I did. Hey, it seems like centuries ago. And the reason I'm bringing it up, and Cindy, is because Florida Eye is one of literally one of the original sponsors, along with Dr. Tim Ioannidis of the Treasure Coast Dermatology. Let me tell you, if surgery has ever been one of those that you can say, man, am I glad I had it. We all kind of fear cataracts or any surgery, and you never know with surgery, of course. But overall, cataract surgery is absolutely one of the most miraculous, beautiful pieces of surgery ever performed. They prepare you ahead of time. You're there for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. Then a few minutes to prep you. Then you stay there for about maybe half an hour. Make sure you're okay. By the time you leave the surgery for cataracts, you can already see a little better with no smoky filter than you did a couple hours ago before the surgery. And every day it improves. And usually they'll do only one eye at a time. And then a couple of weeks later, a few weeks later, the other eye. And usually you do both. And the surgery won't be performed until your eyes are kind of smoky, when you overcook something in the kitchen, you're outside, there's somebody's barbecuing or cooking, and that smoke kind of filters out the clear vision. that goes away. And in most cases, you're nearly up to or at 20/20 vision. So all I can tell you, if you're kind of worried or afraid, give me a call at 954-557-6226. I am not a doctor. I'm a patient. I want to share with you how great cataract surgery is. And instead of, oh my God, I got to worry about it, look forward to it because, man, let me tell you, it's like anticipating going to an ice cream shop and building it up and building it up. And then you get there and then they make your whatever you like to eat. And then you're in heaven when you're eating it. When you leave, you feel great.
And you
What's
want to
this-
go to Florida Eye Institute.
You're going to go to Florida Eye Institute.
What's their phone number? You know that, Ralph.
I got to look
He's got it
up.
here. I
Yeah.
know it's 2020 on the end.
That's correct.
It's 772, and I'm not going to remember the three
All
numbers.
right, give me a minute. It is 772-500 because you
That's-
got two eyes.
Yep, 500.
And 2020
Yep.
is the vision that they want to help you maintain or achieve in case you've lost some of it.
Seven-
772
500, 2020.
Really easy. And they're on the corner of Royal Palm and Indian River Drive on the northeast corner. Big white building. Wonderful people. So, Patty, now that you've got your eyes and focused on the Himicanes and Hurricanes, you were telling us about the Spanish, the French, and you're going to lead us into the Americas.
Well,
Maybe.
the French up in La Caroline were in no mood for multiculturalism a mere 40 miles away from them. So, on September 10, 1565, they jumped into 3 ships and started sailing south to give those Spanish interlopers a good what for. Hey, cool factoid to win some bar bets here. September 10 is the busiest day of the Atlantic hurricane season.
Oh,
There is a near 100% chance there'll be a hurricane somewhere in the Atlantic basin on September 10 every year, and that included 1565.
Something to look
The,
forward to.
the French, who never watched the Weather Channel, were in their battle boats heading to St. Augustine to knock some Spanish skulls together when, guess what? They ran into a hurricane.
oh.
Almost certainly the northwest quadrant of one. The storm split up and sent the French ships south to spots between Daytona Beach and Cape Canaveral. The French started rucking back to La Caroline, right past the Spanish in St. Augustine. That didn't end well for them, but it did end them. And there would never be a La Floride on any maps. The Spanish would hold Florida for 2 centuries until grumpily handing it to the British in 1763 at the end of the 7 Years' War. They'd get it back in 1783, then fork it over to the upstart United States in 1821.
Good move.
Now, the Spanish could have beat the French without a hurricane doing the heavy lifting. We can't run that historical experiment to know. But we know for certain a hurricane beat the French, and that ended any real opportunity for France to ever have La Floride as a colonial territory. The Florida we know was literally born in a hurricane.
That's it. Himicane and Hurricane. The parents of Florida.
Now, I've got some cautiously good news for all those planning on defending their colonial territorial claims on Florida this year. I recently talked to Oscar Hance, St. Lucie County's Emergency Management Division Manager.
Okay.
He told me that in July, the Colorado State University's Tropical Cyclone Research and Forecasting section revised its April and June forecast down to 9 named storms, 4 hurricanes, and 1 major hurricane. A major hurricane is anything packing sustained winds of 111 miles per hour or higher. That CSU forecast is down from 13 than 11 predicted named storms. The repeated downward revisions have been due to stronger than expected El Nino in the Pacific, increasing vertical wind shear across the Atlantic. Additionally, there are near average sea surface temperatures and Saharan dust in the atmosphere, further limiting opportunities for tropical storm development.
Amen.
The university is predicting the chance of a major hurricane making U.S. landfall at less than 20% this year, which is less than half the annual average, which is 40%.
Amen. Let's hope.
But you know what another really quiet year in the Atlantic was?
Yeah.
1992.
Sure.
That year, there wasn't even a named storm until August 17th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind
We
of
know
late
it's
in
coming.
the season. That storm formed as a tropical depression the day before.
Yep.
It spent 6 days as another boring tropical storm, barely deserving a name, and looked like it was going to putter around the Atlantic and fizzle out.
Yep.
But,
Yep.
but then, in just a couple of days, it became a Cat 5 monster, and Floridians had 2 days to get ready.
Yep.
People in Eleuthera, Bahamas, had even less time. When Hurricane Andrew smashed into Homestead at 4:40 a.m. on August 24, 1992, it was packing sustained winds of 165 miles per hour.
Yeah.
The storm took 15 Florida lives as it stomped through the state. Another 29 would die in the aftermath. Andrew had already killed 4 in the Bahamas, and it wasn't done. Andrew got into the Gulf, curved northwest for Louisiana, and it killed 5 more there. In 1992, there were only 7 named storms, 4 hurricanes, and 1 major hurricane.
Andrew.
That was Andrew.
Yeah, and that
It's objectively one of the worst storm seasons in recent Florida and U.S. history.
Yeah, yeah.
I like what Oscar Hance said to me. Emergency planners do nothing different for projected busy or slow hurricane season. They make the assumption a storm's going to hit either way.
Okay, yeah.
So should we.
Yeah, because Andrew was A, and it was that late and it was that powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we are coming up on a break. Do I have time to talk about Jonah's Law?
No.
Yeah, you got like a minute. I would wait. Yeah,
I would wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only
Let's
thing
do
I
that
can-
on the other side.
All I can tell you is my friend Joe Doyle lived in right literally where the storm hit. I forgot the name of the development.
Yeah.
What was the big stuff? The one area that got really
yeah,
hit.
I know it. It's on the top
Anyway,
of my head. Yeah,
his
yeah.
house is already demolished. He and his wife, the housekeeper.
It was Cutler Ridge.
No.
Nope.
Nope. Something else.
Okay.
But anyway, they get they are in a closet, a louver door closet. Joe takes his belt off and loops it on the louvers, sits on his tush with his feet bracing against the door, holding the belt, and it's as if the monster Andrew wants to open the door, and he's wrestling with the storm. He's holding the door back, and the storm trying to open the door.
Wow.
Well, fortunately, Joe and his family won. They survived. Their house was absolute disaster. And all I can tell you, I remember as long as I live, when I drove down there to help Joe, I have never seen anything so devastating.
Yeah, unbelievable.
When you look at Hiroshima
Yeah.
in 1945 after the bomb, well, that's pretty much the same picture. We'll be right back, everybody. Hurricanes and Himicanes, our Veterans Voice Radio.